Now let's continue from 17th para. I moved easily along the berth and felt for the window ledge. What is the window ledge? Yes, the window ledge is a grill that they put in the windows of the train. The window was open and I faced it, making a pretense of studying the landscape. Now, the author is trying to pretend that he is seeing the landscape. I heard the panting of the engine, the rumble of the wheels, and in my mind's eye, I could see the telegraph post flashing by. Have you noticed, I venture, that the trees seem to be moving while we see them to be standing still? That always happens, she said. Do you see any animals? Hardly animals are left in the forests of Dehra. What is the author trying to tell you? He's trying to make a silly comment and make fun of the girl. He says, my dear girl, can you see that? We are moving in the train. The tree is standing still, but for us it appears to be moving. Why? If you see in the physics, the train has got very high inertia and high velocity. So the person sitting in the train will feel that the other things in the outside, which are standing still, will also be appear to be moving. This is a very silly thing, right? Everybody knows why that happens. I turned from the window and faced the girl, and for a while we sat in silence. You have an interesting face, I remarked. I was becoming quite daring, but it was a safe remark. Few girls can resist flattery. She laughed pleasantly, a clear, ringing laugh. It's nice to be told that I have an interesting face. I'm tired of people telling me I have a pretty face. It's Oh, so you do have a pretty face, thought I. And aloud I said, well, an interesting face also can be pretty. You are a very gallant young man, she said, but why are you so serious? I thought then that I would try to laugh for her, but the thought of laughter only made me feel troubled and lonely. We will be at your station, I said. Thank goodness it's a short journey. I can't bear to sit in a train for more than 2 or 3 hours. So you can see the type of sarcasm that the girl is doing for the author. What did she say? She said, I can't bear to sit in a train for more than 2 or 3 hours. It doesn't mean that the train journey was boring, or it doesn't mean that the girl is fed up of train. But the girl very well knows that the author always wants to make fun of her at every point of conversation. Now the author, what did he say? He said that she has a very interesting and a pretty face. Correct. But not every girl falls for flattery, right? There are some girls who resist flattery. Okay. So she was one of the daring girls. Next. Yet I was prepared to sit there for almost any length of time, just listen to her talking. Her voice had the sparkle of a mountain stream. As soon as she left the train, she would forget our brief encounter, but it would stay with me for the rest of the journey and for some time after. The engines whistled shrieked. The carriage wheels changed their sound and rhythm. The girl got up and began to collect her things. I wonder if she wore her hair in a bun, or it was plaited, or if it hung loose over her shoulders, or if it was cut very short. Now you see, this author is a very naughty fellow. Okay, he's thinking in his mind about the hairstyle of the girl, whether it is tied, whether it is unevenly spread out, like that. The train drew slowly into the station. Outside there was the shouting of porters and vendors and a high-pitched female voice near the carriage door, which must have belonged to the girl's aunt. Goodbye, said the girl. She was standing very close to me, so close that the perfume from her hair was tantalizing. I wanted to raise my hand and touch her hair, but she moved away, and only the perfume still lingered where she had stood. You may break, you may shatter the vase if you will, but the scent of the roses will linger there still. This is a very important line, please underline, children. So, what does this line mean? You may break, you may shatter the vase if you will. That means it's a type of a proverb, right? Now, the author is trying to describe the encounter with the girl like that of the vase, flower vase, right? Now you may break it, you may shatter it, you may throw it, or whatever you do. The fragrance of the rose will stay with you forever. That is what the author is trying to point out here. There was still some confusion in the doorway. A man getting into the compartment stammered an apology. Then the door banged shut and the world was shut out again. I returned to my berth. The guard blew his whistle and we moved off. Once again, I had a game to play with the new fellow traveler. The train gathered speed, the wheels took up their song, the carriage groaned and shook. I found the window and sat in front of it, staring into the daylight that was darkness for me. So many things happened outside the window. It could be a fascinating game, guessing what went down out there. The man who entered the compartment broke into my reverie. You must be disappointed, he said. I'm sorry I'm not as attractive a traveling companion as the one who just left. She was an interesting girl, I said. Can you tell me, did she keep her hair long or short? I don't remember, he said, puzzling sound. It was her eyes I noticed, not her hair. She had beautiful eyes, but they were of no use to her. She was completely blind. Didn't you notice? You see? Now this is a very human story, right? The girl and the boy both are blind. How will they know each other whether they are blind or not? So, the author is trying to behave like a normal person because he doesn't want to confess that he is a blind person and gain the sympathy of the people. So, what we must learn, there are two very important lessons we must learn from this lesson. That is, one is we must not try to be a person for gaining sympathy from others. It is not at all a good thing. Let us try to lead a normal life of whatever weakness we have. It may be physical or it may be emotional or it may be material. We must learn to lead a normal life. Okay. The second important thing is, this story is filled with humor. So, the very important lesson is we must not get, flattered by somebody's mean praise. Just like the girl did, she didn't resist the flattery and she said, why are you calling me pretty? There's no need. So that quality must be there in us. We must not become flattered by people, because very well in this present world today, people make us as an instrument for fulfilling their selfish needs. Okay, so this, I think, for you all, this lesson was really interesting. Let us discuss the question and answers of this lesson in the next coming video. Thank you. Have a nice day. Jai Shri Krishna.